Hi everybody! I have seen a cool science experiment posted by Miss Psycha this morning and I thought I'd have a go too. And maybe if you can see what I'm doing, you could try at home as well. But it's all about vegetables and fruit and finding if they will float or sink. So what you need for this activity is a big bowl of water. Now you might have an enormous one at home. I've chosen this glass one so you can see what happens. Because if the vegetables sink, they'll go under the water and touch the bottom. Let's have a look. There we go. And if they float, then they'll bounce around on top. So I've chosen a bowl you can see through so you can check. But if you're doing it at home, you might have a really big bowl. You can put lots of things in at the same time. The great thing about this is I'm using this as a chance to wash my vegetables. Which is great because I can have science fun and have my fruit and vegetables ready to be chopped and eaten. Now, let's have a look at what I've got to start. I wanted to try with the butternut squash or the pumpkin to see if that would sink or if that would float. But unfortunately, it's too big for my bowl. So if you've got a bigger bowl at home, you might be able to try with this one, but this one wouldn't work, so I have to put that one away. What else have I got today? Let's have a look. We've got... what's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. So we've got a carrot. We've got two different names for this one. Some people will call it a courgette. Some people will call it a zucchini. So we've got those, carrot and zucchini. Does anybody recognize this? It's got a skin on the outside and inside it's green. This is an avocado. What else have I got? Oh, yeah. Very, very small. Quite sour if you eat it just on its own. This is a lime. A very small red onion. A tomato! And the last one, does anybody know what this one is called? Very, very shiny. Very, very tasty. If you're in reception, this has probably got an umami flavour. As lots of these vegetables do, actually. This, again, two names. Some people might call it an eggplant. Funny name, isn't it? Or an aubergine. An aubergine or an eggplant. Right. You tell me. We're going to start from this side and go this way. You tell me, what do you think will happen? If I rest this on the water, do you think it will sink and go under the water? Or do you think it will float and stay on top? Carrot, sink or float? What do you think? Let's have a look. I'm going to place it. I'm not going to drop it because that'll make a big splash and a mess of my computer. So I'm going to rest my carrot on top of the water. Will it sink? Will it float? Oh. Oh, my carrot's sunk. It's gone straight to the bottom. So my carrot sunk to the bottom. Let's put that on this side for the things that sink. Right, onto our avocado. It's got quite a thick skin on the avocado, and inside there's a really big stone. I wonder if that will... What do you think? Do you think it will sink or float? Let's have a look. I'm going to rest it on top. Oh, is it? Oh, it's touching the bottom. The avocado sunk down to the bottom underneath the water. So that also goes on this side. Sink. Nothing on this side yet. Let's try our zucchini or courgette. Will it sink or will it float? Sink or float? What do you think? On it goes. Hey! Look at that! There's space underneath. It's floating! We've got our first floating vegetable. The courgette floats. Brilliant! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Let's go to the lime. It's quite hard. Feels a bit like a stone. Will it sink or will it float? What do you think? Okay, I'm going to place it gently. Oh! All the way to the bottom. It's sunk. So the lime, which side? Does it go on the float or the sink side? Yeah, it goes on the sink side. Okay. A very small red onion. It's quite spicy if you eat this on its own. It's got quite a strong flavour. A lot of grown-ups love the taste of red onion, but not many people do until you cook it, and then it is delicious. What do you think? Is it going to sink or will it float? Sink or float? Let's find out. Very gently. And let go. Ah! Look at that! The red onion floats. So I'm going to put that with my floating vegetables. Okay, 2 left. Tomato. This one actually a fruit. Lots of people think it's a vegetable, but a tomato is a fruit. Where's it going to go? Is it going to sink to the bottom or float on top? What do you think? Sink or float? Let's have a look. Gently, gently. Ta-da! You can see it bouncing along on the top of the water. It floats. Our tomato goes with our floating fruit and vegetables. Right, last one for me. And then your turn. Here is my eggplant or my aubergine. Will the eggplant sink or float? What do you think, everybody? Sink or float? Shall we find out? Ooh. It's got a little hat on. Ooh, boom. Ah, look, it's tipped on its side, but it hasn't gone all the way to the bottom. Look, there's space underneath. It's floating on the water. So our aubergine or our eggplant goes with our floating vegetables. Now, Miss Syker also suggested that we see what happens if we peel the skin off. I don't have my peeler at the moment, so I can't do that part of the experiment yet. But maybe you could have a go with the grown-up. Once you've seen if it floats or if it sinks, peel the skin off it and see if it's the same or if it's different. You don't have to use the same as me. You can use whatever fruit or vegetables you have at home. You might use potatoes or oranges or bananas or apples or broccoli. A great way to wash your vegetables and do some science to find out if they float or if they sink. Send us some photos on your portfolio or on the school WhatsApp group of you playing around. And definitely use a bigger bowl than me. Get a really big bowl full of water and try your different fruit and vegetables.